Hi and welcome to the James Oliver Guitar Channel, and this is vinyl video number 34 of albums and artists and bands that I love and inspire me. So this is part 34, we got another 20 albums to show you, and here we go then. This is number 1 in the list. This is The Exciting Sounds of Roy Orbison. This is more of Roy's rockabilly stuff like Rock House, Me Little Mama, Problem Child, Ooby Doobies on this. Devil Doll. Now this album originally came out on the Sun label and the record was titled Rock House. But the Sun Rock House is quite expensive, and this is the same album with a different cover on the Ember label, as you can see, and this was £1. So you get the same music as you do on the Sun one on a different label. For the last one went for 114 quid, so you get it for £113 cheaper. But I love Roy Orbison's Sun rockabilly stuff, it's great. Probably my favourite Roy Orbison song is probably Sweet Dream Baby, which is one of his 60s ones. But nevertheless, this is The Exciting Sounds of Roy Orbison. And there he is on the cover there, the big O. Another Neil Young album. This is Neil Young and Crazy Horse live at the Fillmore. From around 1970, this is a cracking live record on the Neil Young archive series. You've got Everybody Knows This Is Nowhere, Winter Long, Down by the River, Wondering, Come On Baby Let's Go Downtown, and Cowgirl in the Sand. Classic Crazy Horse lineup: Danny Whitten, Billy Talbot, Ralph Molina and Neil Young. And it's just a cracking live album, and there's some wonderful expressive experimental guitar playing on this album. So there we are, there's Neil Young and Crazy Horse with Live at the Fillmore. This is a mini album of sorts. This is a 6-song album, and it's Rycoda Live, one of my all-time favourites. Crazy About an Automobile, If Walls Could Talk, School Is Out, Look at Granny Run Run, Jesus on the Main Line, The Very Thing That Makes You Rich, Makes You Poor. This is a just called Rycoda Live, and he's on the front there with either a Jaguar or Jazzmaster. And extra price 6-song album. So this is this is German. It's a German press, and the writing is in German on the back, but it says something about Bop Till You Drop, and of course there's some songs of Bop Till You Drop, and we all know that Bop Till You Drop, of course, was the first ever all digital recorded album. Here's some early blues for you. This is Frank Frost and the Night Talks. Hey Big Boss Man. This originally came out on Sam Phillips's Phillips International label. This is a really rare record. This is not a first press. This is a reissue. I mean, first presses of this goes to thousands of pounds. But there's some great blues on there. There they are on the front with their Strats and Telecasters. Everything's Alright, Lucky to Be Living, Jerry Roll King. They do Jimmy Reed's Big Boss Man. Jack's Jump, which is a nice sort of jump blues sort of thing. Jess Came Home. Frank Frost can be described as a truly talented artist with a real potential of becoming one of the outstanding rhythm and blues personalities to come along in the past decade. Obviously, I don't think that really happened, but amongst blues collectors, this is a great album, and never mind how unknown or known Frank Frost is, it's definitely worth checking out because it's a real good time record. And if you've got a first press, your quid's in. But this reissue is on, I guess it's on Charlie or something. They are, look, it's on the Charlie label. They reissued a lot of cool stuff in the 80s, 70s and 80s. Of just stuff you couldn't get. Here's another Neil Young related album. This is quite a rare one on the White Whale label. This is The Rockets. Of course, The Rocket features Danny Whitten, Billy Talbot and Ralph Molina. And of course, this is the band that they were in before Neil Young stole them to do Crazy Horse. I don't know where he's seen the Rockets, but he's seen the Rockets, obviously loved what they did, and this is the solo album they made. All in My Pocket, Won't You Say You'll Stay, Stretching Your Skin, Let Me Go, Country Rock. Obviously it does sound like Crazy Horse, because 3 of them are the Crazy Horse rhythm section. So yeah, that's the Rockets. This is quite a rare album. As you can see, there's Billy and Ralph there. We're still in Crazy Horse to this very day, 50 years later. So that's the Rockets. Definitely worth checking out for the Neil Young fans. And another great guitar album, this is Taste on the Boards, of course Rory Gallagher's band Taste. What's Going On is on this, Railway and the Gun, Eat My Words, See Here, Rory Gallagher of course. I'm going to show every album of his, because you all know what I think of Rory. Taste are a wonderful trio as well. It's on the Polydor label. And it's just a really great... All the Taste records, the self-titled one I've shown on the boards, Live, Taste, etc. All worth checking out from Taste. It's quite a cool one. This is Ronnie Hawkins, Arkansas Rock Pile, which features the band as his backing track. Dizzy Miss Lizzie's on this. My Girl is Red Hot. Chuck Berry's 30 Days. Who'd You Love, the great Bo Diddley track. Bo Diddley, as in, hey Bo Diddley, that one. And it's, it was manufactured and distributed by Major Minor Records, but it's on the Roulette label, which is the American label, and there's some great stuff on Roulette. Oh, there we are, I just found this inside. Great rockin' LP, original 50s and 60s recording compiled onto this 1970 UK Roulette release. Well, I stand corrected, but there's a great label. You can get Dick Dale stuff on the original Roulette. You can get Jimmy Lloyd, Rocket in My Pocket on the original Roulette label. So there we have it. This is worth checking out for all the Ronnie Hawkins fans and of course the band fans as well. The band being Robbie Robinson and Levon Helm. Up next, this is a great Welsh rock and roll album. Always show a Welsh act in my vinyl videos. This is Deke Leonard, Before Your Very Eyes. Recorded in Rockfield, Someone's Calling, Fools Like Me, Marlene. Oh, when am I coming back? Get Off the Line. He does Elvis's Big Uncle Love. Bad Luck. What am I going to do when the money runs out? Cracking record this is. Probably one of my favourite Deke albums. Really, really good album this is. And on the CD version, there's also a Map of India, which of course was a single. So that's Deke Leonard was Before Your Very Eyes on the United Artists label. Bit of Chet Atkins. This is the Teensville album by Chet Atkins. Chet Atkins, of course, is one of the greatest of all time. Wonderful fingerpicker, arranger, musician, producer, and an all-round nice bloke. White Silver Stands, Boo Boo Stick Beat is my favourite on this. Teensville, Night Train. There's a lovely version of Sleepwalk on this. He does Django's Castle. It's nice to hear Chet doing some gypsy stuff. Gypsy jazz stuff, of course. And I mean, every album features them beautiful Gretsch 6120s. So there's Chet Atkins with the Teensville. Up next, another guitar player on the other end of the spectrum. Link Wray. We all know my thoughts on Link and his wonderful instrumentals. This has got Ace of Spades on it, Jack the Ripper, Run Chicken Run, which is still in my set today, Rumble, Mr. Guitar. He does the Batman theme on this as well. Link Wray, Doug Ray on drums, Shorty Orton on bass. And Vernon Ray obviously produced it, and he played keyboards on as well. And this is just a compilation on the Chiswick label of all Link's early recordings. I've got some of his London singles, and I've also got the EP, which I've shown on an EP video I did. Here's some nice British blues. This is Big Joe Louis and the Blues Kings. This is on the Blue Horizon label. Of course, Mick Pinney recorded an album on this label around the same time, which I've shown before. Big Joe Louis still going today. What's the Matter With You? Down on Blues, How She's Gone. Cried Last Night. Me and Old Frisco. Of course, produced by the legendary producer Mike Vernon. And there's Big Joe on the front. And have a look at some of his stuff now, because he's still going. He's still playing in like the Blues Kitchen and Ain't Nothing But the Blues Bar in London. Definitely worth checking out. Honky Tonk Masquerade by Joe Ely. This is an earlier Joe Ely album. With, of course, still got Jesse Guitar Taylor on lead guitar on this. Cornbread Moon, Boxcars, Jericho. Honky Tonkin', of course, the Hank Williams track. Honky Tonk Masquerade, my favourite track on this. He does Butch Hancock's song, West Texas Waltz, produced by Chip Young. I've shown quite a few Joe Ely's. My favourite Joe Ely song is Me and Billy the Kid. A live Chuck Berry album from the 60s. This is Chuck Berry on stage. This is on the Pie International label, would have come out in America on Chess. And Go Go Go, Memphis, Tennessee, Maybelline. Brown Eyed Handsome Man, he does Still Got the Blues, which has nothing to do with Gary Moore. Sweet Little 16, Jaguar and the Thunderbird. My favourite on the Other Man and the Donkey, Trick or Treat. There he is on the back with his Gibson ES 350. And he's on the front as well. So that's a live Chuck Berry album, which is good fun. Bit of Zappa now. This is the Apostrophe album. Classics on this. St. Alfonso's Pancake Breakfast. It was Pancake Day the other day, so that's quite fitting. Don't Eat the Yellow Snow, Cosmic Debris. Stinkfoot, Uncle Remus, Apostrophe. Jack Bruce played bass on this. George Duke on keyboards. It's just a who's who of wonderful players, you know. Ainsley Dunbar's one of the drummers. This is probably the Zappa album you should get first to get into Zappa. Wonderful stuff. And a cool cover too. Another British blues guitarist. This is Mick Abrahams, of course, who was in Jethro Tull. And I think it's self-titled. It's just called Mick Abrahams, and on the back you can squeeze, you can feel the cover. There's some good stuff on this. Greyhound Bus, of course, which he did with Blodwyn Pig, and what else is on here? Big Queen, Not to Rearrange. Nice track called Seasons. There's some nice slide on this. Mick Abrahams is definitely worth checking out. Check out the Jethro Tull album This Was, because he was a guitar player on that, and Cat Squirrel's great. Some good footage of him on YouTube as well, and this is a nice album on the Chrysalis label. And I think it's on the Chrysalis label, or it's on the Island, one or the other. Oh, it's on Chrysalis. So that ties in with Rory Gallagher, of course, who ended up recording on Chrysalis. Excuse me. And the racing cars. Some wonderful finger-picking blues. This is Reverend Gary Davis. Say No to the Devil is his gospel blues, and he's finger-picking, you know, on his J200. Say No to the Devil, Time is Drawing Near. Lord, I Look Down the Road, Little Baby, No One Can Do Me Like Jesus, Lost Boy in the Wilderness. You know, it's very religious stuff, but, you know, I'm just in awe of the way he finger picks his guitar. And that's why I've got these Gary Davis albums. The Reverend Gary Davis, of course. Bit of a Cajun guitar compilation. This is Cajun rock and roll. There's some good stuff on this by Shorty Lee Blanc and Cleveland Crotchet. Sweet Thing, Hound Dog, Baby, great accordion and fiddle playing on this. It's on Gold Band Records, out of Lake Charles, Louisiana. It was originally $7.99 somebody paid for this. But it's a really good Cajun album if you like your Cajun rock and roll. There's some good tracks on this, a couple of tracks I intend to do if we ever start gigging again. I'm Leaving You, Coming Home. Yeah, there's some real cool stuff on here, and that's the Cajun rock and roll. And we like a bit of Cajun rock and roll, Ballum Alligators, etc., Clifton Chenier and all them people. Some more finger-picking guitars, but this is more of a British thing. This is John Rembo's first album, nice folky stuff. Bluesy stuff. He does John Henry, he does Muddy Waters, Louisiana Blues, Reverend Gary Davis is Candyman, The Wildest Pig in Captivity, an instrumental dedicated to a friend of mine, Hogsnort Rupert, in whose rock and roll band the famous Porchestra I once played. Porchestra. Nora and the Rabbit is a track with the wonderful Bert Jansch. We've shown Bert on the channel many times. So yeah, that's John Rembo in the same sort of vein as John James and Bert Jansch. This is a classic. This is Robert Johnson, the King of the Delta Blues Singers from the 60s on the CBS label, which features the classic Robert Johnson tracks. You know, Crossroads, Terraplane Blues, Come Into My Kitchen, Walking Blues, Last Fair Deal Going Down. It tells you the dates they were recorded as well from the 20th. Well, they were all done on the 27th of November. And then he done some in June then, in 1937. Preaching Blues, you know, Robert Johnson, mind-blowing stuff. Solo acoustic guitar. Frighteningly good. That's Robert Johnson. The king of the Delta Blues singers. Him, Charlie Patton, the Son House. They're the three for me. Last but not least, this is the Everly Brothers with Beaten Soul. This is sort of the Everly Brothers rock and roll album. James Burton's on it, Glenn Campbell's on it. They do some cool stuff. They do Money, you know, That's What I Want, CC Rider, Ray Charles' Lonely Avenue, Little Walter's My Babe, Rufus Thomas, Walking the Dog. So they do some classics, and you get the great voices of the Everly Brothers with one of the best, one of the best backing bands in the world. So there we have it. There's 20 records. I hope you enjoyed this, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you all again soon. Cheers.